The Feniglia is a sandy strip of land that is a tombolo which is long 6 kilometers and which connects the island Monte Argentario with the mainland. It is a natural reserve and you can enter only by foot or with a bicycle. Its particular fame is mainly due to the wonderful beaches with fine white sand. The depths are very low and the water is clean and clear. It enjoys a beautiful view as the beach is framed to the left from the hill of Ansedonia with on its top the ancient Roman town Cosa, and to the right from the island Argentario with in front the hillside Poggio Pertuso, the port Cala Galera, the old town Porto Ercole and the island called Isolotto. On days of good visibility, you can also recognize the shape of the island Giannutri. At the beginning and at the end of the tombolo, there are located the bathing establishments, restaurants and cafes. Instead, in the central part, there are the free beaches. Even in high season, these free beaches are never crowded because getting there is rather complicated. You have to park the car at the foot of Ansedonia Hill and then get a bike. You enter to the nature reserve through the opening just after the bridge. So you will reach the long dirt road which runs the whole Feniglia tombolo. On the left you will notice 6 more or less equidistant gates that allow access to the sea. Gate number 1 is not far away, and if you want you can also reach it by foot. Gate number 2 is the least crowded beach because from the road where you leave your bike there is a long walk about 300 meters in the wood. Gate number 3 is the most comfortable one because it offers bicycle stands. Gate number 4 is a beach ideal for dogs. In high season there is also a snack bar. At gate number 5 and gate number 6 you will reach to bathing establishments and restaurants. Anyone who wants to practice sports can go running along the dirt road and will find a fitness trail with 4 equipments. Or, continuing the cycle path of the Feniglia, it is possible to surround the whole lagoon crossing the town Orbetello. This bicycle path is long 12 kilometers and without difference in height. Near gate number 5 there is a monument to the famous painter Caravaggio, who died in this place on 18th July 1610 due to a high fever. The monument was erected in 1973 and expresses the restless character of the painter. Caravaggio, having killed a man during a fight, was sentenced to death, and since then he was constantly on the run. Convinced that the Pope had granted him the pardon, he embarked for returning to Rome with numerous canvases to give to the pontiff in thanksgiving. But approaching the port of Rome, he got to know that the pardon had not yet been signed. That's why Caravaggio continued the route north and reached to Porto Ercole. When he got off the boat, he was exchanged for another wanted criminal and put in prison. The following morning the error was clarified and he was released. Unfortunately, in the meantime, his boat with the numerous canvases had untied, and so looking for it, Caravaggio walked along the coast and reaching finally here to the Feniglia, where a high fever made him fainting. Someone found him, took him to a sanatorium at Porto Ercole, where he soon died. Next to the forest guard near Ansedonia there are excavations. Every year at the end of August and in September, archaeologists continue the search for finds. For now they report to have found ashes, and many fragments of large ceramic vessels dating to the Iron Age. They assume that the site served for salt production through boiling seawater. The salt served for the preservation of a food. Very near to the excavations there are the remains of an ancient Roman villa, which was originally very wider, because in fact the wood is full of stones from the villa, which is now almost completely collapsed. All the tombolo was once covered by Mediterranean scrub, but in 1804 the area was sold to various private owners. So they started to cut the trees for selling the timber and for creating pastures. Then in a few years the winds moved the sand of the tombolo into the lagoon, where it soon became impossible to continue fishing, which was Orbetello's most important economic sector at that time. So in 1910 the private owners have been expropriated and the reforestation of the area began. Then in 50 years a new vegetation has been created. This vegetation can be divided in 3 stripes. Near the beach there is a coastal vegetation made of low trees, shrubs and bushes such as juniper or rosemary. The large central strip of the Feniglia is covered mostly of pines. You can note that the trees grow in a row and that they are equidistant among themselves. This is due to the planned reforestation of the 20th century. A third strip of vegetation grows along the lagoon and consists of few small pines and various herbs able to grow on saline soils. The most popular animal of Feniglia is actually the mosquito, so from July to September we recommend to access only with effective repellents. An equally famous animal for Feniglia, but definitely much nicer, is the fallow deer. The female deers, that is those without horns, usually gather in the late afternoon on the large square near the excavations. Some tourists approach to them and offer carrots, lettuce, or other herbs. The boars were removed because they damaged the newly planted trees. However, there are other animals like the fox, the badger, the weasel, but it is really difficult to meet them by chance. Many bird varieties can be observed, for example the hoopoe, the jay, the turtle dove. To see the water birds there is an ornithological path leading to the lagoon where 2 observatories are situated. Mostly in the morning hours you can see, for example, the coot, the egret, the heron. These 2 ornithological observatories are connected to a rather sandy road that allows a pleasant walk on foot and offers very particular views of the lagoon.